Namaskar and welcome back to the Saffron Box. Today I'll be talking to you about Ketu's connection with marriage. What if Ketu is in the seventh house and how does it impact your marriage? Now, why I felt this need to make this video is because, over the years in my consultations, I have seen this placement, Ketu in the seventh. This placement triggers a lot of fear and confusion in people's minds as soon as they'll see Ketu in the seventh and they have to look at their own chart or their child's chart, daughter or son's chart, there's a lot of anxiety. Will Ketu in the seventh deny marriage? Will the marriage end up in divorce? Will the partner be totally different, etc., etc.? There are so many queries which come to our minds. And rightly so, Ketu has been painted like a bad character all the time. But today I wanted to make this video and help eliminate some doubt, some confusion if you have in your mind about this placement. So if you like this video, do remember to share it with family and friends, people who are concerned with respect to marriage. They should listen to this and at least, bring down the level of stress, bring down the level of anxiety and confusion which they've got. So, number one, does Ketu in the seventh deny marriage? No, you cannot blankly say it. Ketu alone, poor Ketu, I would say, sitting alone in the seventh house it is not capable of denying you anything alone. The first thing which you have to see is Ketu in the seventh house. Which sign is it sitting in? Who's the lord of that particular sign? Is that particular planet also afflicted? Right? Because Ketu is not capable of giving results on its own. Ketu will give results only of the planet in whose sign it is sitting. The planets which are sitting along with Ketu in that sign, in that house. So poor Ketu alone cannot do anything, first of all. So let's get this basic doubt out of our minds, right? What does Ketu do? Ketu, remember, is that energy which blocks something, right? Ketu does create some kind of blockage. Rahu will give you the pull wherever it has to go, and Ketu will create that blockage. It also talks about your past life karmas. So wherever Ketu is sitting, now here today's topic is the seventh house. Now Ketu sitting in the seventh house will create some challenges, yes. But as I said, you have to see the Lord, you have to see the sign and the other things in the chart overall. So you have to assess the chart overall. What is the position in the chart? How is Venus placed in the chart? If it's a female chart, how is Venus and Jupiter placed in the chart? All that has to be seen. But nevertheless, Ketu being that, Ketu does not have the upper body. It just has the lower body. So it is not able to communicate what it wants, what it feels, what it sees, right? So that is the blockage which I am talking about here with respect to Ketu. And when you are in a marriage, when you are looking at a partner, you always want to communicate. You want to tell the partner what you feel, what you like, what you want to do in future. So there is a constant communication which is required whenever you are in a marriage, right? You all must be agreeing with this. Ketu will create some kind of a barrier there, right? Also, Ketu will not directly indicate a divorce. As I said in the beginning, the seventh lord, Venus, Jupiter, all other planets, the aspects on the seventh house also have to be seen. So, but Ketu alone, if it is afflicted in the seventh house, can give difficulty in terms of, your material growth. The first thing which one looks at, when you're going ahead in the path of life, once you're settled, once you start earning, is a partner. The next thing is a partner. So Ketu can create a blockage here in terms of getting you into an unconventional relationship. So the marriage, which you are in, the partner which you have, may not be okay in terms of the traditional norms. So the partner can be much older to you, much younger to you. So you basically defy the traditional customs or the conventional norms of society. Now, as per conventional norms, we always understand that for a lady, for a woman, the partner should be elder to her, right? But Ketu in the seventh house can give you a partner much younger, can give you a partner from a different religion, from a different background altogether. There can also be a different nationality involved, and I have seen this in many a charts in my consultations. So, Ketu can give you an unconventional marriage. After the marriage, what do you expect from the partner? You expect communication, you expect the normal daily routine of a marriage. Now with Ketu's presence here, there can be some amount of differences in the expectation which you have and your partner has, right? So there can be a lack of interest sometimes from your end, right? So you do not want to go ahead with the usual stuff, dealing, I mean, if I talk about the normal stuff, dealing with the in-laws, dealing with the relatives, getting involved with the family rituals and all that. So there may be a lack of interest in the life after marriage which you're expected to do. So there can be a difference out there. There can be a lack of interest. There can be an offbeat or a unique marriage arrangement. What do I mean by this? It means that you are married, but your partner is physically separated. Partner is working in a separate city, working in a separate country altogether. So you are not traditionally, living together. You're not sharing the same room. You're not sharing the same space. This can also bring physical separation. So I have seen a lot of times where with Ketu in the seventh house, though you are married, there is physical separation or there is a lack of physical intimacy. So you are married, there is some lack of interest, of course. You are staying in the same house, but you have separate spaces, you have separate bedrooms. Now this is not divorce, but yes, you are sharing your different spaces, different lives under the same roof. This is something which I've seen very, very commonly, whenever I've seen this placement. The more the affliction increases on the seventh house on Ketu is when the separation increases, right? So the level of separation increases. With a poor Ketu alone in the seventh house, this may be the situation, right? You are staying in the same roof, but separate rooms, separate routines. You do talk, you do connect with each other, but not as well as a usual couple would, right? There can be difference of opinion. There can be difference in terms of how you want to bring up the child. There can be difference in terms of your financial outlook. How do you want to go about your investments? Your spending patterns can be different. So you stay together, you never separate, but there are a lot of differences. And if your partner also has a slow moving graha like Saturn in the seventh house, or there's a lot of Saturnian influence on their seventh house also, then you continually stay together like this for years, but you never separate. Legally you are never divorced or separated. There can be a lot of silence in the relationship, right? Also it will these effects will be more pronounced if you are undergoing a Ketu dasha as well. Remember, whatever your natal chart says, your dasha has to fulfill it. So even if your natal chart shows this kind of a placement where you see difficulties, challenges in terms of marriage or differences with your spouse because of Ketu in the seventh house, the dasha also has to play out. So Ketu's dasha has to come at the time of your marriage, during the lifetime of your marriage, or the dasha of the seventh lord has to come through, or the dasha of the planet which is sitting tightly conjunct with Ketu in the seventh house. Only when these dashas, these antardashas will play out is when the challenges increase. Otherwise, if you have this placement, but the dasha of Ketu or of the seventh lord never comes in your lifetime, then please be assured that these kind of challenges or more challenges in your marriage will not come, right? Your partner's chart will also have some impact on the marriage, on the time which you've spent together. So this is something important to note. This is not a placement to be feared about. This is a placement which you should understand with the help of an astrologer, or you read more about it rather than get scared about this placement. The positive side of this placement, can be that Ketu in the seventh house can make someone detach very easily from the material affairs and want to progress more towards the spiritual path. So, what are you looking for in the partner? You're looking for an intellectual partner, you're looking for a highly evolved partner. Remember, I said in the beginning that Ketu always brings in some past life connections. So, your partner has come to you because of some past life connections, right? And you have come together, and in this lifetime, if you're working at a higher plane, then you are looking at spiritually evolving with your partner. Those are the kind of expectations which you have from him or her. If you're operating at a very lower basic plane, then it can amount to small fights, disagreements, and sometimes a lot of silence. Ketu cannot talk, so there is a lot of silence which you have in the relationship. You're leading separate lives. But do remember, do see the overall chart and do not jump into conclusions merely by seeing Ketu in the seventh. That was the main point which I wanted to drive home today. I hope this video helps. Do spread it, do share it with your family and friends, and I hope it helps them too. Thank you so much.